Welcome to Diener's Diner. Today we're going to be making a pork loin roast, and we are seasoning it with some salt, some seasoned salt, pepper, garlic, and onion powder. I put them in a little dish, and for this video, because I've already put seasoning on here, I'm just showing you how I'm going to mix this up in a bowl. Of course, I'd have more in there. Just mix it up, and you're just going to rub it on your roast. You want to get it all over on all the sides. And turn it over and continue to put that seasoning on. We are not going to get this on a hot pan at this time. We're just going to put it like it is into our crock pot, and then we are going to put it in the crock pot and let that cook on low for as long as it's needed. Okay, I've had the crock pot on high for 5 hours. Let's take a look and see what we've got here. Oh, look at how wonderfully that breaks apart. Ooh, that is going to be so yummy. And all this juice is just from the meat itself. I did not add any liquids, any oil, anything to the bottom. And next we'll get started on our next course. Next we're going to fry up some radishes and mushrooms and onion. And we're going to put that in some butter on the stove, and we'll get that fried up. And as you can see, I've taken the ends off the radishes, got them nice and clean, and I'm just slicing them up into rather thin slices so that they cook nice and even. Don't forget to clean your mushrooms, removing the debris that they were grown in. Just kind of wash them off and then dry them real good. And we'll get these cut up. I left the mushrooms kind of big because they're going to shrink down quite a bit. And your onion peels, don't forget to save those and put them in the freezer so you can make some wonderful onion broth or some wonderful vegetable broth. And you can see the last video I did of that. We've got our butter in the pan, and we're going to start to saute these. So we got the radishes in the butter, and we're going to fry those up. We're going to start those first. We're going to add the onions in just a little bit, and then we'll add the mushrooms toward the end. I'll add some salt and pepper, and we'll get that started. Okay, so while we're letting the radishes soften up, we're going to get started on our vegetables. So I've got a little bit of broccoli, some cabbage, and a carrot for color. We're just going to chop these up, and we're going to add them into our pan that we're going to steam. You can see I've got, maybe a ½ inch of water in the pan, and this will sit down inside of here. We're going to cut our vegetables up, and we're going to set them in the pan in this container here, and then we're going to cover it and put that on the stove and let that steam. Okay, we're just going to cut this broccoli up just like this. No technicality to it at all. Just get it separated so it cooks kind of an even size. And our cabbage we're just going to take and start cutting like it's shredded. And we've got everything in the pan that we're going to steam, so we're just going to cover it, and then we're going to turn it on medium and let that get boiling. Okay, I've added my onions, and we'll get those cooking. You can see that the radishes are starting to turn brown on the bottom. So we'll let the onions caramelize a little bit and continue cooking the radishes, and then we'll end up adding our mushrooms. So I went ahead and added the mushrooms and getting those in there. And you can see the radishes are cooking rather well. I'm going to let them cook a little bit longer. When it's really white in the middle, you're going to be able to see they're kind of hard yet. So we're going to let those soften up a bit. Our vegetables are doing rather nice. We'll get those nice and soft. Don't want to overcook them. Ooh, yeah, very nice. Almost done. Let those go a little bit longer. And you don't want to put a cover over your fried radishes. The reason being is because then it'll steam and all the moisture will go back in there, and then they'll just be soggy. So you just want to fry them up without a cover. Okay, our vegetables have been steamed and our radishes are off. I am going to show you how I remove the the container for the steamer. I'm going to take the water out and just put the cover on and pour that in somewhere. I may save this liquid as it's full of vitamins. Try to get all that out and rock that back and forth. And take the cover off, and I'm going to use a fork, and I'm just going to poke one of the holes, and I'm going to lift this up, and with my gloved hand I'm just going to grab a hold of it and dump that inside the pan, and that way I can put my butter on there and my salt and pepper and cover that and get that all nice and flavored up. Alright, I got some butter there, tablespoon or so, and you want to keep it in the pan because the vegetables are going to cool off really quick. So I'm going to put your cover on and just let that melt in there, and we'll stir it up when it's time to serve it. And as you can see, we're going to get this all served up, but look at the color we have here, and such healthy, nutritious food. This is a keto-friendly, low-carb meal, and that's the reason that I use the radishes instead of potatoes. So you can do potatoes if you'd like, but I would hope that you would maybe take down some notes and copy this recipe and enjoy. What are you still doing here? Well, I'm sure glad you stayed around to the end because I've got some ideas and tips to use the bone that was in your pork, if there was any. Save your pork bones, save your chicken bones, save any beef bones, put them in a fridge in a baggie, and we'll cook them up another time, making a chicken broth or a beef broth, or sometimes I'll make chicken and pork broth. So you can use your bones, don't throw them away. There's a lot of goodness on them, a lot of marrow in there. That's going to be very tasty. Thanks for watching.